Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Mr. Graham, Yogi, for this opportunity. And I'm going to read a speech on behalf of the Ahwazi Democratic Popular Front, and then I will have my own view about the current crisis that is happening inside so-called Iran. Let me read the Ahwazi ADPF, Ahwazi Democratic Popular Front speech, and then I will give you my latest thought about what's going on inside Iran and how the non-Persian nations are struggling for their rights in these sensitive times. Esteemed Mr. Graham Williamson, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished representative of the nations for striving for freedom and self-determination. Greetings of respect and appreciation to all of you. I am honored to address to you today on behalf of the Ahwazi Democratic Popular Front, conveying to you the voice of our Ahwazi nation who have been struggling for more than a century for their legitimate right to end the occupation and exercise their full and inalienable right to self-determination. Since 1925, our people in Al-Ahwaz have lived by force under an occupation imposed by the so-called state of Iran, following the overthrow of their political entity and the deprivations of their right to sovereignty. Successive regimes have come and gone, yet the core policies have remained unchanged. Systematic repression, erasure of the identity, demographical change, and political and economical marginalization in continuous violation of human rights and international law. Despite of all forms of repression, our people have not relinquished their right. Rather, they have continued their peaceful and political struggle, affirming that occupation does not gain legitimacy with the passage of time, and that self-determination is an inherent right of nations that does not expire. Ladies and gentlemen, the dangerous escalation of tensions currently witnessed in the region, Middle East region, and the possibility of wide-scale military confrontation between the United States and Israel on one side, and Iran along with its armed proxies and militias in the region on another side, reflect the depth of the structural crisis facing the region as a result of Iranian expansionist and destabilizing policies over decades. Policies of interference, expansion, and support for cross-border militias have contributed to regional instability and have pushed the region to the brink of open conflict, the consequences of which could be catastrophic for the people of the Middle East. We affirm clearly that the non-Persian nations who are occupied and oppressed by Iran are not the cause of this conflict. However, they are among the greatest victims. The continued denial of the rights of the nations and exportation of the crisis abroad only intensify the likelihood of confrontations and threaten regional and international peace and security. We believe that the truth true path to addressing the root causes of the crisis lies in ending the Iranian occupation, recognizing the right of non-Persian nations, and enabling them to freely exercise their right to self-determination in accordance with international law and the Charter of United Nations. From this platform, we call upon the international community to assume its historic responsibilities and to work toward supporting just solution based on the respect for the will of the oppressed and occupied nations, rather than merely managing or temporarily containing conflicts. Ending occupation and respecting the right to self-determination are not only moral and legal imperatives. However, they are essential conditions for building a just and sustainable peace in the region. Stability cannot be achieved through force. It is achieved through justice. Peace is not built on repression, but on a mutual recognition and the rights of nations and people under occupation. In conclusion, the ADPF reaffirmed that our people will continue their legitimate political struggle until the occupation is ended. Their freedom is restored and their full right to self-determination is realized, contributing to the building of a future characterized by building a peace, stability for our people and for all the nations around the world. Thank you so much. This is the, if you allow me to read.